Philosophy of inclusive education. So what does it mean by inclusive education? Educating all students in general education classes in their neighborhood schools with high quality instructions, interventions, and support so all students can be successful in the core curriculum. Inclusive educations have a collaborative and respectful school cultures where students with disabilities are presumed to be competent, develop positive social relationship with peers, and are fully participating members in the school community. Participation of students with exceptional needs in inclusive settings is based on the philosophy of equality, sharing, participation, and the worth of dignity of individuals. This philosophy is based on the belief that all children can learn and reach their full potential given opportunity, effective teaching, and appropriate resources. We all have a learning skills that will help us promote our full personal, academic, and professional development, irrespective of race, class, color, gender, disability, sexual preference, learning styles, and language. So each belongs and all are valued and have a right to learn there regardless of needs and disability or abilities. So that's the philosophy of inclusive education. Next is the five
So first
positive
philosophy
inclusive
of
philosophy
inclusive
outline.
education is inclusive education is a basic human right. Inclusive education is not just a simple need of children. It is rather a cardinal right of all learners to a quality education which responds to their basic and unique learning needs that will eventually improve their lives. So every child has the right to the quality basic education, especially or including the children with disabilities or have impairments for their basic right to be free in all discrimination. So, quality of education is essential human right because every student is welcome and valued as a full and essential member of the class and school community. So, similar to all human rights, inclusive education is something universal and inalienable. Human rights are universal, that inherent to every individual without discrimination. Inalienable meaning that no one can take them ever away. Education really important to our lives because it is our greatest armor things of all. So human rights are about equality, dignity, respect, freedom, and justice. Example of rights include freedom from discrimination, the right to life, freedom of speech, and the right to education. So, through inclusive education, one can meet differing needs of all learners and reduce segregation to and within the educational system. Fundamentally, the right to quality basic education has been formally recognized only as a human right when the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was adopted in 1948. Universal Declaration of Human Rights or the UDHR is a document that acts like a global roadmap for freedom and inequality, protecting the rights of every individual and everywhere. So since then, a number of agreements and standard instruments have reaffirmed this right. They deserve specific mention in this discussion. First, UNESCO's 1960 Convention Against Discrimination in Education provides that members nations have the duty to broaden educational opportunities for all who are deprived of basic education. UNESCO's 1960 Convention Against Discrimination in Education, this convention prohibits all discrimination based on race, color, sex, language, religion, economic condition of birth, and many more. This convention, 1960, covers the right of all people to enjoy education without discrimination. So second is the 1966 International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights that reasserts the right to education for all persons and emphasizes the principle of free compulsory education. It ensures the enjoyment of economic, social, and cultural rights, including the rights to education. So third is the Convention on the Rights of the Child. The most extensively approved human rights treaty defines the rights of children or the things they must not be discriminated against. Convention on the Rights of the Child was adopted in 1989, an important agreement by countries who have promised to protect the right of all children in the world. So, understanding the process of inclusion. So, steps from exclusion to inclusion. So, first steps was denial or exclusion, acceptance, segregation, understanding, integration, and the final stage was the knowledge, education for all, the inclusion in education. So, inclusive education is a basic human right, means that everyone has the right to education, especially those children who have disabilities or who have impairments. They have the right and free to access education and, and free from all discrimination.
All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. So, no matter who you are, we must treat human rights in a fair and equal manner.
My name is Educ Surya. Inclusive education presupposes that all human beings have equal value and rights. Inclusion is considered as a precondition for the optional growth and development of all human beings. This view is advanced as inclusive education recognizes each person as equal intrinsic value of dignity and thus ought to be treated with equal respect and be give rights. Inclusive education acknowledges that all children must be educated altogether and all circumstances. Each spate of any disability or difference they may have, this can be done by responding to the different needs of students, accommodating but various styles and levels of learning as well as guaranteeing quality education to everyone through suitable curricula. Organizational arguments, teaching approaches, research, utilization, and partnership. With their communities, inclusive education meets all children in the same classrooms. In the same school, it means real learning opportunity for groups who have traditionally beings including not only children with disabilities but speakers of minority language too. Exclusive education is important also because it fosters a culture of respect and belonging. It also provides the opportunity to learn about and accept individual difference. It also provides all children with opportunities to develop friendships with one another. Friendship provide role models and opportunities for growth. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. My name is usually Tuhim Mablatan, BE Pulsai 3, Block 1. This is my continuation about inclusive education purpose that all human beings have equal value rights by reporting by Idolges and I'm continue. Additionally, This is a philosophical ground challenge educators to create an environment of responsible inclusion for everyone. As all students have unique learning needs while providing wide range of learning options in their classroom. They are also challenged to be conscious that every student has the right to partake in all aspects of the school life. This is a consist with the inclusive model which emphasizes that all children are welcome and valued despite their ability or disability. Children from all social class of society with different abilities, including children with disabilities, will obtain their education together with their non-disabled peers. The inclusive education provides unique learning needs to students by providing a variety of learning options. There are example of example needs risk of being risk, special needs, honor college bound talent level, slow failure on track problem, underachieve. That was problem that was a problem of inclusive education purpose that all human have equal value rights. That's all. Thank you.
Asame Polistico, third year student of Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, Block 2. So this is the continuation of our report about the philosophy of inclusive education. Third is the inclusive education is a cornerstone to build a just society. Access to education increases one's chances to gain economic and social benefits in the society. When the state and society at large guarantee that children have access to quality education, it causes a domino effect of opportunity that has direct effect on future generations. For example, inclusive education is very important in a way that every children can have the best education in order for them to be successful. This way, people can have a justification or can have fairness in everything within our society. So, education is one of the individual right that should have. It is a type of education that is basic education to service the children that has exception to the normal school. But inclusive education is one branch that can help provide a platform of equal opportunities and learning environment similar to that of peers for children with disabilities. As a result, they get learn from these children, which is ultimately helps them improve their social as well as communication skills. Inclusive education takes forward the agenda of education for all. Education for all means guaranteeing that all children have equal access to quality basic education by developing a learning environment where able and disabled children can learn. Expectedly, inclusive education is a vehicle to realize the basic right to EPA because all children must have the chance to study and to grow together. By giving preferential concern to the vulnerable and marginalized groups, inclusive education attempts to bring out the full potential of each person to become efficient contributors in the making of society. It supports education for all children, young people, and adults. Thus, inclusive education has the power to accomplish the EFA agenda because its implementation can be greatly efficient in introducing the EFA philosophy and goals.
I'm Krishna Gonzalez, number 5. Inclusive education focuses on providing learners with a non-threatening learning environment. Inclusive education addresses the educational needs of learners in a non-threatening and supportive learning environment. It includes learners who are formally disadvantaged and excluded from education because of barriers of learning. It means all children in the same school, in the same classroom. It means real learning opportunities for groups who have traditionally been excluded, not only children with disabilities but speakers of minority languages too. Inclusive system required changes at all levels of society. And also, inclusive education allows students of all backgrounds to learn and grow side by side to the benefits of all students.
Thank you for listening!